Oh, good morning, traders, and take a look at these charts. Some really good volatility in these, really good, strong movement. So I like that. This is one you want to buy here, and this one up in new highs once it gets unhalted. Oh, good to see some early birds here. The best way I know how to capture volatility in today's markets would be trading instruments like these. The drop off the drop off takes a while for in order to be filled. It means you're in a queue, so place order sooner than later. Technically, this is the best looking pattern because it's got a 45-degree angle breakout, but lately it hasn't traded. So all right. All right, traders, and welcome back. We're going to get started here at the 9 a.m. Eastern. And if you take a look at the broad market, you can see been up and down, right? Tail end of a uptrend. So let's see if we get an exhaustion coming up at resistance here, or if it does continue on up. In terms of some of the charts to look at today, MLGO looks to be really good. XCRS, BZ, and BBVA. This prefers the out days in which the market is outside the previous day's range. So we'll keep on that as we take out the highs here, and momentum out just be high with a 575.85. Look at our charts. There we go. All right, well, in this morning's session, we've got some good upside and downside volatility. One thing's really keen on is the consistency or the length of trend time frame that these trades manage to go within. So let's say, for example, you want to trade something like this, a micro alto, and you want to know when to go long. Well, I would say go long anywhere, and you would say 13 to 30 or so. Main thing is to take advantage of the 50% retracels like this so that that pattern presents, and also how to make the best of it from a personal trading standpoint. First thing is to know what to look for and what to recognize. So this is going to be any chart that has a big range sometime in the pre-market and it's since gone quiet. We're still getting our bearings. It's 7 a.m. and almost half an hour to the bell. One thing everyone also pay attention to is the broad market itself. Just I use the SPY so we can see what's going on pre-market and also the SQs and SOXS and SOXL. One thing like with the leveraged ETFs is they act as a more sensitive lead indicator, so it gives you a little bit of edge over the rest of the traders. Once you learn how to read it, and what you're looking for is say this is it's S&P, right? And so we're going to say how strong is the market? Well, see if it does break out above this resistance, right? So it's kind of doing what it's doing, and our basic ETF is still kind of in an uptrend, but slow down. All right, here's a good chart. XERS. It's been halted though forever, but once it unhalts, maybe a doozy. And you can see the BBVA chart's got a little bit of range, but not enough to be exciting yet. Remember, you should always have a threshold or an idea in mind in terms of what kind of range you'd like to see in the chart, given the runs that it has. And I would say just no more than, say, 40, 50 cents in a row before a reversal or slowdown. You can anticipate that. Okay, I want to see upside volatility. And one of the things I'm looking for is, like I said, large, big green candles, right? Large green candles are a good lead indicator that may get a breakout, at least twice the previous circles, right? Twice the height. Okay. And also, too, welcome aboard to all the new members. Good to see folks here. One thing to pay attention to is the directional volatility of the market based on SPY price action and keep an eye on whether it's taking out new highs or new lows. Or if not, is there anything that's being used to distract gaming operations? So here's a good SOXL example. It's trying to break resistance, but pulling back. What's happening to SOXS at the same time? Chopping down. So we wanted to recover. In this case, I want to get over here, and this one I'd like to pick up right over here. That'll do it. So that's just around 25 minutes to the bell. The chart likes it, inquiring minds don't know, is this about? So not yet. It's not very strong. There's only the trade-off by the time it's perfectly good. It's no longer how is that? So All right, so as we go on a scan to the market, I was looking for wide charts with clean patterns like this. That's as good as this, there are plenty of them out there that exhibit the patterns we want. Pre-market motion out there. We're in our S&P. Here's MLGO. This is a good example of yet another of many patterns that we learned about, and that's a pivot off a pivot, or at least a slowdown off a previous resistance level. So let's see, cut breakout that gave us a move up and the way down with it. It was not to stay short, but it's under and stays under this low right here. But at some point in the morning, you do want to annotate where you would trade it. I'll just leave that there. We don't go long on this until it gets over 13.3. Sox is about to be 23.10. Now you'll find out it seems like a nuisance at first to do this kind of document the details, but it helps you become a stronger trader internally because you don't have everything pointing different ways. You stay focused on one goal. So, yeah. Now, for those of you who are new to pre-market trading, one thing to note is that you can't use automated order flow, at least not with most brokers. Oh, it's a lot of manual. Hopefully you can see where you go long here if it does get over, say, 13.40. And the S&P line chart is still headed down. So recovery of a previous resistance area like this is cause for a play. So we're going on here. So it's still holding. Back in just a sec. And as always, my goal is to help you make bigger winning trades more often and give you setups and entry prices that make sense most of the time. And I give you a good chance at making a go of this. Markets are up and down right now. Ascending triangle. Right? That's a net bullish pattern. It's an expected breakout up over that high. We'll rapidly go through our list here and give you some ideas. This one was one of those, hey, it went up without me, and now it's back down to where it started. Do I play the bounce? And many criteria to use, but the general one is no, unless it's a big range here. So at least like a 1 point range. Yeah, this one does have so 14 up to 13 and a quarter to 14 and a quarter. So over 1 point range. Another chart here is our green one. You can see it has several charts. This BZ looks like a long, but not here, right? We never, ever buy nines. We wait till say 2005 or 2010. No. By the way, the stocks should be going up, right? Punch. Hit this one long here at 23.20. If it gets over 2320, let me go. Pose the price. That's the price at which you pull up the chart and see if you think it's worth a long. And this takes time to figure out the pattern recognition. Yeah. Yeah. All right. That's done 10 minutes to the bell. We'll kind of see who's getting new volume on breakouts and where's it coming from. Good nice up, good strong upriser in our SQs, and SOX is also matching. By the way, that one's better than the SQs because there's more leverage. So this will be longer than 2320. And up and above. All right, yeah, there we go. Big move in that. Anyways, when you're looking for gauging how long things are going to run before they don't, you always look at the immediate trend length or leg of a trend. If it sells off, how far, like they sell before bounces about that far. It helps you time your trade entry so you're not buying the top or selling the bottom. Mm. Your traders when the time is rapidly approaching. We're at 9:23. Got 6 minutes or so to the bell. Mm. If the market sells off, well, be on the lookout for upside moves in this. Definitely along in our UVIX if it gets on try 920. Okay. Mm. Mm. We're just minutes away to the opening bell and let us get this started. Let's start by looking at the S&P and see what kind of directional trend it is and volatility, the length of runs and so forth. Currently, we're pulling back off an ascending triangle high and getting close to support down here near the 575 or so. Even that one to always add our inverses to our playlist like UX or 2940 next. Turn so we're no, thanks. It's good to be back. Hmm. Hmm. A nice big drop in the fact that it took out support here means that red flags, went off in greater downtown. Big drop under there. So in the money for 23 too long, correct? Right, that's good. 2320 starting to move. And I do on 2340 next. You're working now, thanks. Right, well, turns we got just a couple minutes to the bell. One thing I also look for is sharp angles, right? And so of at least 3 green candles and piercing the support resistance level. Now I'm looking to see what leads the pack right out of the gate. So excuses how to short the NASDAQ, right? That'd be a long over, say, 33.30. If that's really tight, let's push it to the 4. A couple minutes to go. Seems like forever, right? Pre-market's like tick-tock. My favorite would be Soxes, the inverse semis, and long over the 23.30 or 40. Market is open soon. Almost there. 9:29 and counting. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. And market's open. So the first thing you do, step number 1 is scan through everything and see if there's anything running quickly. Like Xers looks good, right? So, oh yeah, the Xers is way up in 610, but keep XCRS on the radar. Okay, so step by step, things to do are immediately look for, give preference to charts that are above their previous highs and not just moving up. So breaking a key resistance area. On a mission to see how many of these we can find move up. So Sox is at like 23. Where let's do 23. Long 23.40 if not in yet. And then 23.7 after that. That's an example of a slightly uptrending breakout. I'm not seeing the types of charts I like with big ranges. The UVIX we go into 29.7. If it gets there. BC is trying to have a little party here. Longer say 2010 or 2020. Is what makes sense. See, it's starting to spec out. spike out. $33.3. It's calling after you, $33.3. Let's do 30. 35. So if it gets over 33.35, you're right. Tick tock. Mhm. Looking for the charts like that. It's like reach for the sky. Boom. Is there a nail that breakout here, right? I don't know if it's 6:10 if it gets there. Another entry might be a bit later if it's say 6:30, but no, it would be. Like if you're new to it, it often helps to use the scroll wheel on your mouse to tighten in the time frame or push it out so you can see previous major supports easier. Mostly just like momentum, so that is good. Now, if you're in this, the most important number is not the entry, but the exit, or at least that adds some. Where would you try to stop? I'd use say 596, 594. Right, that's right. So if you're long, strong, make a bet, back out, jump in again. If and when the market goes up, and take these charts with it. Exactly, looks really good. Long over 49. No, I would wait till the 50. Hmm. Step by step, this one be at 610. There's all right. I gave it to you guys earlier today, right? If you took it, good for you. Boom. Big leg. So what we want is you pull back and then a resumption of the uptrend, and then they break out above that. That would be the line. Just blindly try to break out here. Sell up here. If you're already in this, I'd try to stop say right here, 595. Because the candles are getting smaller, right? Large, medium, small. Often leads to a drop. If it stops at small, medium, large, says you should break out. Hmm. That looks strong market and within the market reserves, right? I know too that high volume, large breakouts like this attract the eyes of the world's traders because people like us are looking for it. So often becomes kind of self-fulfilling prophecy if you can get in early on the first major move. Hmm. Just up here and be done with it. Next line over 610. Hmm. Hmm. was looking for the next play. Mm. Yeah, this illustrates the whole number concept. So I say don't go long there. We're talking over 610. Because often things sell like us will sell into the 90s right under whole number. The other point is to use 0.5 to cheaper stocks under, say, 15 a share. So whole numbers and half the 50s count. This would be a long up at new highs. SQ would be a short down at lows because it's losing support. Okay. Market keeps going up, so yeah. Stocks up again, and also T cues. The market relatively strong uptrend. It's quite interesting. The patterns are solid, and we're looking for chart season with. Look at charts here. Alcohol looks really good. Hit that at 34.6, 346. Long because we're 346. And then get some good charts here. Those charts have not been big moves this morning, so. Yeah. that's really good. BVPR. BVPR over 430. BVPR over 430. The same numbers, right? Nice big breakout. And there we go. Next line up is the 2340. That's our stocks, that's right. Yeah. It's sort of gap filling, but it's in bounce. But it's another common pattern. Is fills the gap and usually bounces. BVPR, great chart. Yeah, I think I had called 440 and 460. Yeah, let me go ahead and get some rock star list, guys. Very slow last morning. I don't like slow. I like fast. I'm a trader, so I do. 4.6. Hit that up there. Oh, yeah. See, I kept us out of trouble. 34.6 is a trigger. Exactly. I'll tell you, but trying. Really good chart, this one. UX also climbing. Color 29.2. It's in the money just a little bit. Trail stop at break even. Scaling over the 40. Oh, there it is. The one term I use a lot is a signal candle. It's a candle like this one. It shows relatively large body relative to the previous handful of trades. So they're voting with the pocketbook. So and on this chart where we do trail stop, that's all number, right? Because it's close to all number. So trail stop there. And rebuy if it takes a new high, so we're 610 later. There you got the whole plan all neatly wrapped up in a bow. Next call the long side, right? We're all up here at 29, 15. Next call, of course, at 29. Da, 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 da. Now we're to try to stop 29.5, right? I think this helps when are these charts in live real time for you so you can see what I'm looking at and why. Taking any of my long alerts that would make money for you. One chart. UXC. Boom. I told you not to worry on that, right? What was that right one? Stay the course. That's this one. 2980s next. Hmm. Looks like that selling pressure that I mentioned is here probably, so that's good. Okay. UVX baby, well, and thanks to you, registered for my UVX mastery class coming up in a week. See, that's why I'm UVX master, right? Boom, nailed it. You'd be making a lot of money if you bought the potential. A lot of paper money if you bought the 29.2. And the trick is where to sell this punt because you know it's going to go back down any second in time. Try way up there and sell it. If you're a new trader, I want you to put profit right now. Sell all now. Sell at 29.89. That's a Calhoun sell signal. Right. And the party's over. Take the money and run, son. Get it, got it good. Started sleeping. My lady friend is much younger than me. Oh, this is definitely sell under 30. Rebuy over say 30.30. Next trigger for long will be 30.3. So in the meantime, take profit, sell all open UX right now. And it's gonna be my official call is sell 30. Now it could easily go to 40, right? So this, especially this one. So you do it whatever re-entry plan, but a take profit plan is more important. Okay. Oh, take the money around if you got a 29.20 and you have like like I said, you're in the money, right? Big win. Next on 30.30, because I'm a little skeptical. I think it's gonna F up and go back down between here and 25 or 30. So I would be selling out and then re-entering, or say 30.30. It may well go up much higher and very quickly, but I think it's more likely to do a pullback soon. It may keep running. That would be a rare thing, but I think we're good in good company to sell here. That's all you need is like one good trade like this a day, right? Who's your daddy? Boom, nailed that fucker, right? On the spot. That's how you trade, all right? Pros only big cojones. You want to fade that to 80. You short 80. I personally, I'd rather go long again. That was like the end of chapter one. The roll to fade to black, right? End of that episode of Calhoun makes money, makes alert calls again. The bajillionth time roll. Anyway, that was a good exit, right? In, out. And as a Wall Street guy, I would make some off color comments, but I won't do that. It was a good for you too. So anyway, that's how you do it. Nail it. Next one will be 30.30, right? And for now, that's a big profit. If you get a 29.248 and sell it there, that's your trade. Sox says, boom, shakalaka. Down into 23.10 or 20. And listen to me be up 50 cents. Boom. But did you listen? No. I'd sell this punk up here. It's fine. 23. See no red and look like it's going. Take the money and run. 23.6. I'm starting to wonder because this morning was so freaking slow. But here we are, finally. And we were prepared and we can nail it, right? I hope you guys took some of these. At least thought about taking some. Good. Then we good, right? He looks blam. Talks with blam. Shooting star. It's still good place for longs. TikTok. The risk is slightly higher than reward potential after these small candles. On the fence, I'd still push it. Let's do 23, 85. Long again if it gets over 23.85. Hard stop at say the 75 and northern diameter zone. I think it's going to top out here in the 24 and fade. So just in case this is a volatility crunch. And again, our long next line is 30.30. You can see that's a good example of a good professional call. Like a squawk in back in my institutional guys, institutional client days. If I were doing Wall Street squawks, it's running a squawk on the live floor is a lot different. It sounds more like an auction, you know. 2029 2 get roll and ask about it's like a live. Anyway, slow and easy for you guys, and boom, that's a win, right? What else? And that's all you need for the day, right? I mean, that's all I would need. I would be out there. See, because I learned the hard way. You don't want to piss away your morning profits early, 9:30 to 10 profits, chasing stuff after 10. It's good to hit and run, hit and run. Carrying over 460. Actually, I'm gonna push that up to 465. Okay, well, whatever you would get. Okay. But I would stop at say the 4.6 now, so breaking, right? Okay, keep trying, great. Next one would be over the 5.10. I have an uncanny ability to nail my call signs. I should have told these years. Slowly grinding up. I wouldn't be too excited. That was the big play of the day. That was that run. We got most of it. You don't get the exact bottom, you don't get the exact top, but you're a good trader like me, like nail like 90% of it. Where's the day? Hmm. All right. Fortunes are made, then good here. Or at least if any confidence is built, that's good too. But hey, this thing actually can be done. You have to learn for the right person who actually knows what they're doing. This is not child's play. It's very sophisticated and difficult as the effort, but it can be done. Boom. Bam. I would trail stop at break even. I know it's only pennies off. I would be really nervous long up here, so I'd ski down not so damn good. Trail stop at break even. Say, play with the house, is freaking money. If it drops even a little bit, sell it, punk. Say, that was my big call for the win for the day. This is just like icing on the cake to show you what a baller can do. Boom. Haha. Trail stop now at 30.45. 30.45 or 30.50 on it. So we lose a 45 route. We're still in. We lose 30.45. If it gets under 30.45, sell it all. And it's kind of glad I could show this to you as an example. A trail stop now 30.50. I went looking to sell any secondary. If it shows any 49s on the route. Yeah, sell it all. Yeah, and get out those 49. So sell 30.50. The further it goes, the more skeptical you are. Oh yeah, that's good. And I'm like the whole number guy, so I would sell out. If you're still in, I would sell it all now. We would get back in, but only if it broke 31, which is very unlikely, right? It's, I mean, it could keep skyrocketing up to 40, right? Or 32 or something, but you know, it's done its piece. We did good. We take our profits and run, right? Pew! Nailed it. Right here, so let's say 23, break even, sell 23.85 if it hits that. Where's that penny? So I want to teach you guys how to trade with break even stops. That's really key. That's good. So I love you guys, right? No, like a beautiful woman can argue with you and give you a headache, but eventually it comes through. So anyway, that's a good call. So we got what? 80 cents on the first and 20 on the second. So that's also a dollar. So it's slippage, maybe, I don't know, 90 cents, 80 cents, but still, it's a good run, right? That's how you day trade. Buy the breakout, sell the first line of exhaustion, right? You rebound a secondary move above the whole number, and then sell again on exhaustion. Because this one is itty bitty compared to this one, I wouldn't be fooling around with it until it breaks 31. Pros only short to 30.30. Since there's some consolidation, I would use a standard long process now. We're not like, it's not skyrocketing up without any thinking. So let's use 30. 0.8 is an excellent. Still kind of skeptic. So I mean, a scalper would be right over the 62, but and so we're done, right? Just that said, I'd be closing down the monitors and go and tell the wife how much you made. That's it, right? Good breakout. How many times it's happened to me? I don't know if this sounds familiar to you, but let's say you're up 800, 1200, whatever in the morning, you know, like right now, and say, hey, I'm doing great today. I'll just keep on trading. And by the end of the day, you're like flat or in the red. You could have been up, whatever, 800, and then you're down instead of 300 because you pissed it all away over trading when you shouldn't have. The trick is walk out a winner. We have win limits as well as loss limits and hold them, and same thing in this. Once you hit your win target, take the money and run. The microphone drop. Peace. I'm out. You're standing over tonight. That's what you're doing. That's great. We kicked the previous day's trading range almost by twice. That's good. Another good thing about being adequate or effective with this is called playing both sides of the mountain. You go long on the way up and short on the way down. Buy, sell, short, cover. Now the reversal, we only expect a mid-range, right? So we only expect 50%. So target would be, say, 29.7 or so. And stop would be, say, 30.45. So it's no more than 15 cents on this, right? And you might want to flip to long at 30.45 too, by the way. Oh. Yeah, it looks like the short's not gonna hold. Give it a minute, we'll see. So if you take a 15 cent on that, I would still re-short the 30-30. I think that's a good entry price on this chart for short. TikTok. Ah, flawless victory. He shoots, he scores. Just such a fucking genius. Anyway, that's how you do it. This is how we do it. Now we re-short or go short again, or I should say under the and I think that's good. You go long, it gets over 30, say, yeah, I mean, if you're scalping them for a long tree or break, you would scratch at the 30-30 and then scale in at 30-30, 40-50, but so then the short's good for a bit more, at least down to 30, right? Then scratch out because it doesn't look like it's going to behave and collapse. But still, it re-shorts like 30-15. Right. We continue. Let's see what else we have. The other chart's worth a shot here. Mm-hmm. Now there's about my long you post up at 33.7 or something. For those of you who know, TS just means trail stop, right? Yeah. Let's get in there and get up here. Another one. What else? Hmm. Okay, I would say the market odds. Remember, I say we often get a 10 o'clock reversal. Let's see if we did. Yeah, say 10 o'clock reversal. Yeah, I'm just so accurate, right? 10 o'clock every freaking day, you usually get a reversal. I've been saying it for 25 years. Nabbit, that's right. It's 10 o'clock, the market usually pivots. You 10 o'clock, yeah, you're gonna go back in. Sounds good for that. I still make it break the 20 though. Like I said, and be very comfortable putting this morning's performance in front of any Wall Street pro. Say, yeah, I did right. It's slow in the beginning when the markets are slow. Got in and captured great breakouts in the UVIX and the SOXs and a good narration to give people a technical training as well. So I hope that helps. That's how you do it. It's a lot of work. And you can see it's like a lot of work, but when you get returns like this, it's worth it, right? By the way, the last thing anyone needs is a squiggly line on a dang chart to day trade. I need to have a moving average, MACD signals it. No, F that stuff. All you need is your eyes and your brain and a price action chart like this. It's clear and easy to understand. People try and let the line do their thinking for them. That's stupid. You won't win. You'll definitely lose money that way. You want to use your trading savvy, your experience, your pattern recognition skills. There's no app for that. and stick a fork in everything and walk out ahead. I guess it's like the energy of the market. It's best between 9:30 and 10. And then it starts to go down, and the trends, the micro trends, for 8 or 10 minutes don't run as far by far after 10. I say for proof, like go back over, your last whatever week or two with the trades and see how many of them were stops versus wins based on the patterns that I've been teaching. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And say, oh yeah, we kept out of that. We got in on this one 7. Yeah, well, it worked. The goal is to try and paint a bridge, or maybe a long journey or whatever. Long journey uphill to learn this stuff. And certainly feel free to ask questions at any time. And or post a ticker for me to look at. Hmm. Still love Unix. Over 38. Let's tighten that. It's in it to 65. Why not? The reason for example, let me tell you the thinking behind this. The reason behind putting the trigger up at say 30.8 was in case it a false breakout and crash. But the fact that it took so long to bang up here, it means there may be some real strength in the move. So for that reason, I pulled the entry in instead of keeping it out of reach of the crowd. Trail stop at break even with 70 right now. It's got to feel great, but trail stop at break even. It's the most important thing you learned from me. That's a brilliant combo. So trail stop at break even. And the stocks is boom, ba ba boom. Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-bum, 2410. 24.10. Copy that. Too legit. Too legit to quit. Hard stop at say 30.55. Exit over say 30.80. By the way, this is for those of you new to working with me, welcome aboard. Uh, Plans. I like charts that aren't zigzag like that, but charts that are relatively flat. That what do you call it? The tightness of the chart. Or I like to think of it like a strong cable with the workout machine at the gym or whatnot, but like that is much easier to trade than something that pops all over the place like that. Hmm. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum. Next song, not 5:30. No, when you're here kind of fighting the market and isolated gap, that tells you the force is not with you. So the force is with us up about right after 10 when we close that position, but now new position. Hmm. Looking good. Bada bing, bam, bam. Nailed it. Hmm. Up soon here. Hopefully that's giving you a glimpse into the eyes of an experienced trader in terms of what to look for and how to manage entries and exits and re-entries. That's how it's really done like that. Call after call, win after win. This is an example of why I don't ever worry about selling too soon because it's hard work to get these alerts put together for you and tell you what the exact answer the market's going to be. And based on my experience, and I nailed it. But we could have made more for help, sure, but you could also lost a drop. I'm perfectly fine buying the 23 trend, some of the 23.6. It's 50 cents on a 20 cent, but also the penalty box that you have to agree to, or agree with yourself at least to re-enter on breakout above the next whole number up by 10 or 20 cents. Hmm. Well, let's see. Let's have the round trip one. And round trip two. It's all green. I think we're done here. Really good session, though, right? It started really slow, but ended on a bang with lots of good alerts. Or several really strong ones. So that'll do it. All right. See you guys tomorrow. And do well. Take care. Bye bye.